Okay, everybody. So we're back here finishing up our lessons on dividing fractions. So we have looked at dividing fractions by whole numbers. We've looked at dividing whole numbers by fractions. So today we're going to be looking at dividing a fraction by a fraction. Okay, so let us look at dividing fractions by a fraction by looking at a question. This question is actually in your textbook, so you can turn to page 59 in the Prime Math for Success, the course book. So the question says, Martha baked a cake and gave 1/3 of the cake to her neighbors. This is important, to her neighbors. Each neighbor took 1/6 of the cake. How many neighbors did Martha give the cake to? All right, so let us think about that question. And you know, I always tell you, when you're thinking about these questions, if you draw a picture, it will make life much easier for you. So here it is, here's my cake, and it's a rectangular cake. And I've divided the cake into 3 equal parts. And you know I've done that because it said I gave away 1/3 of the cake. So I divide it in 3 equal parts so that I can give away 1/3. All right, and there. So I've shaded that yellow part that I've shaded. That is the part of the cake that I have given away, 1/3 of the cake. So let's read what else the question says. It says each neighbor took 1/6 of the cake. 1/6 of the cake. Now what we have here, the cake is divided by this picture, divided into thirds. But we didn't give each neighbor 1/3. We took this 1/3 and we shared it for some neighbors so that each neighbor got 1/6 of the cake. So let us look how we'll do that. So what I would have to do then is share the cake into 6 parts. Right, here it goes. I share it here. I share it here. Sorry, I didn't put in the red line. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. Now remember that what I gave away was the part that is shaded in yellow, that 1/3 part. So the question now asks, how many neighbors did Martha give the cake to? And you can clearly see from the picture that Martha gave it to 2 neighbors because there are 2 parts. One neighbor got that part and the second neighbor got that part. So the answer is 2. How many neighbors did Martha give the cake to? And by drawing, we can see that the answer is 2. But let us look at the same question because we want to also be able to figure out the question without having to draw every time, right? So here's the question again. Martha baked a cake, gave 1/3 of the cake to her neighbors. Each neighbor took 1/6 of the cake. How many neighbors did Martha give the cake to? Now, when we look at the question, we realize that we start off with the 1/3 of the cake and we are going to share or divide it by 1/6. 1/3 divided by 1/6. So that's the number problem that we come up with. No, we haven't done dividing by a fraction by a fraction, but we know the rule, and the rule says any number that is divided by a number, the answer will be the same as if you were multiplying by the reciprocal. So let us use that what we know to do this here. So we know it's going to be 1/3 multiplied by the reciprocal of 1/6, which is 6/1. And that is, as I look at it, I realize we're getting into fun. It's going to be so easy to do this. 1 times 6, 3 times 1. And we can cancel this down. 3 into 3 goes 1. 3 into 6 goes 2. 2, 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. And 2/1 is equal to 2. So the answer is Martha gave cake to 2 neighbors. So we got the same answer. So we know we are correct. All right. So let us look at another question. Let us see if we can do this. Again, always remember the rule when you are dividing. When you're dividing by a number, it is the same as multiplying the reciprocal. I just want to make a point here. This holds true not only for fractions, it holds true for any number. So for example, if I am saying 50 divided by 2, it is the same thing as saying 50 multiply by a half, which we know we're going to get 50 times 1 over, because this is here, times 1 times 2, which is 50 over 2, which is equal to 25. Just a point, I'm kind of coming off a little bit, but I just want you to know, realize that that rule does not only work with fractions, it works with every number. Okay, with all numbers. All right, so let's go again. So we now have 3/5 divided by 3/10. So how are we going to do this? We know that dividing by a number is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So we're going to go 3/5 is the same as multiplied by the reciprocal, which is 10 over 3. So we're going to get 3 times 10 over 5 times 3. And this one is going to work out really nice. 3 into 3 goes 1. We cancel down. 3 into 3 goes 1. We can also do 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. Let us look. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. The answer is 2. Okay? It's just a coincidence that the answer is 2. It's not that all the answers are going to be 2. All right, let us look at this one. 3/4 divided by 5/12. 3/4 divided by 5/12 is going to be 3/4 or 3/4 multiplied by the reciprocal of 5/12, which is 12 over 5. So that is going to give us 3 times 12 over 4 times 5. And we can reduce this down. 4 into 4 goes 1. 4 into 12 goes 3. 3 threes are 9. 1 times 5 is 5. 9 over 5. And we know that this is an improper fraction, so we have to change it. 9 over 5 is going to give us 1 and 4/5. There you go. Nice and easy. It shouldn't give you any problems. Check your Google Classroom because I'm going to set some work on for us to practice that. All right, any problems, we can discuss it in class. See you tomorrow.